What's going on, guys? Mitch here, and as you can see, I've got the back end of the SL8 in all its glory here. And I don't know if you've seen the vlog yet. I don't know when this is going to be coming out, but over the weekend I took a bit of a tumble and ended up smacking in my derailleur hanger, and it is bent. So I'm going to show you a different angle, probably from the back, to kind of show you that it's pushed back. So let me just do that now, just so we're all on the same page. So here's the best angle I can kind of show you, based on the fact that I'm in my office. But essentially, yes, it fell over on the derailleur, as we can see here. It's got a nice little smack. It's painful to even touch, but that happens. Anyway, at least the derailleur looks like it's okay, but I do have to replace the derailleur hanger because, as you can see, this cage should probably be about like that. So we're going to walk you through on how to do that today. Now, just remember, the derailleur hanger does serve a purpose, and as you can see here, I do have a couple love marks here, one up here and the other down here. Now, step one is to mourn the loss of the black, beautiful paint and cry, because this is the kind of thing that, you know, if your wife saw, she'd be able to identify if you were able to upgrade your drivetrain. So we got to make sure that either we're going to Sharpie these edges up or replace it altogether before she has the ability to see it. Now that we've established humor as my coping mechanism for this situation, we're going to go ahead and actually remove the wheel with I think it's a 6mm on the other side, and then remove the derailleur here. So let's start with the wheel first, and then we'll get into the other parts here. So the wheel's off, and as we can kind of see here, we have a couple different bolts going on. Obviously, one, the axle threads into this part of your frame. We have an Allen key here, and that actually attaches the derailleur hanger onto the frame. And then we have the derailleur itself. So we're going to have to undo this bolt here, take off the derailleur, and then we're going to remove this. So first things first, let's do the derailleur, and then we will do the hanger. Now, it is important to recognize that we do have kind of two different setups here, right? So we have the actual derailleur hanger, which is on that line, and then we have the bolt-on Shimano hanger thing, which is right there. So it's kind of important to find out which one of these is bent, because, you know, you could do one and then realize quickly that actually both are bent, or just the wrong one. So it's important just to know there are two pieces here, and that we are just doing the inside standard derailleur hanger itself. Let's go ahead and get the derailleur itself off using a 5mm. It's pretty simple. Like that. And as we can kind of see, there we go, we'll look at that in a sec here. As we can kind of see here, the actual knuckle itself is still nice and straight and not bent or anything, so that's still good. You want to check it for play to make sure there's nothing wrong, but from what I can tell, we're just dealing with a standard derailleur hanger. So using a 4mm, we are now going to take this guy off. It should be pretty easy. And that should just be one bolt that goes right through into it. Just like that. So there's your hanger itself, and the bolt that screws into it. Got the new derailleur hanger, and we are ready to rock, so we're going to put this guy back on in the reverse order at which we did this, install that. So bear with me while my brain calculates how this all goes back together. Looks about right. And what we're going to want to do here is, once we have this guy tightened down to spec, we're going to want to run our axle through here as well to ensure that we've got the clearances all set up perfectly. So let's run our axle through and make sure everything lines up correct. And there should be no coarseness. Feels good. And just continue. There we go. And those new bolts should have Loctite on them, so you shouldn't be worried, but then again, never know. May want to check it after the first ride. Now to put the derailleur back on itself. Alright, using our 5mm that we used earlier. Put this guy back on. Bada bing, bada boom. Now let's go ahead and put our wheel back on, just like we did to start. and just make sure we're in the right gear before we cinch it right down. And just like that, we now have our derailleur hanger back installed with a little bit of damage on the dura-ace, a little scratch on the paint, but that's fine. But everything's back on straight. Obviously go through a run on the gears, make sure everything's good, but it's dead straight, and I just went up and down. As you can see, I've changed gears already, and it's perfectly straight. So you know what? Things happen. As you can see, the stock derailleur hangers had itself a bit of a time, and it doesn't take much to bend these things. So there you go. She's done, and it owes you nothing, but there's a good angle to bend. Unreal, eh? Doesn't take much. But yeah, we're all good to go. So there we go, guys. Thanks for stopping by, and I am going to go for a ride and make sure this works before I go out and try it again. And hopefully, with a little luck, I don't have the same problem. All right, guys. Thanks for stopping by. Enjoy your week. Peace.